It's the beginning of autumn in England. The days are getting shorter, the sky is often grey, and the sunshine feels weaker. My mum says this season can make people feel heavy inside, almost a little sad. When the sky is cloudy and the garden looks tired, it is easy to feel the same in our hearts. But Mum also says that autumn is not only about endings, it is a time to slow down, to prepare, and look inside ourselves. I think that's why she spends so much time in the garden now, even though the air is chilly. She goes outside with her gloves and tools, moving slowly among the plants. She told me this is the season of clearing. We need to pull weeds, tidy the beds, and make space so the garden can rest through the winter. I followed her and watched as she knelt on the damp soil, her breath white in the cold air. With every pull, weeds came out of the ground, their roots clinging to the dirt. She said, if we don't remove them, they will steal all the food from the air and plants. I thought about that. Maybe weeds are like noisy thoughts in our heads. If we don't clear them away, they will take all our energy and leave us tired. Watching Mum work, I felt she was not just cleaning the garden, but also cleaning her mind. Then she began to trim the plants. She used scissors to cut back the branches that had grown too long. The sound was sharp, click, 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 and leaves and stems fell to the ground. She said, tidying the garden is like tidying the heart. We cut back what is not needed, we make room for new life. The garden slowly looked cleaner, but it also looked emptier. I asked Mum if that made her sad. She smiled and said, not at all. Sometimes emptiness is necessary. Sometimes you have to let things go so that something better can grow. One of Mum's favourite plants is lavender. She planted them 3 years ago and they grew fast, so fast that they started to crowd each other from far away. They looked lovely, but when you stepped closer, you saw the branches tangled, pushing against one another. Mum said, even beauty can become too much when it has no space. So she decided to dig them out and replant them. She separated the strong, healthy ones and placed them neatly back into the front garden. The smaller, weaker ones she moved to the back. She told me sometimes the weak need a second chance. Let's see how they do. Every day after that, I saw Mum take care of the strong ones. She watered them carefully, added fertilizer, and pulled out the weeds around them. She worked so hard, her hands always busy, but the lavender stayed green and gave very few flowers. Meanwhile, the weaker ones in the back garden grew tall and bright. They had more space, more light, and they surprised us. Their blossoms were purple and full. Bees and butterflies danced around them. I could see Mum standing there, a little puzzled, watching the weak become strong. I asked her why this happened. She said, I don't know. Sometimes in life, effort is not enough. Sometimes what matters more is the environment. Plants and people, too, need the right place to grow. That made me think a lot. Maybe it's not always about how hard we try, but about where we are. If we are in a place that gives us space, light and air, we can grow. But if we are in the wrong place, even with all the care in the world, we might still stay small. Mum said this is also a lesson for people. Sometimes we feel weak, not because we don't try, but because we don't have the right conditions. And sometimes what looks weak can become strong if it finds a better space. I looked at the garden again. The front garden was neat, but it gave a little joy. The back garden looked messy, but it was full of life. Maybe life is not about looking perfect. Maybe it's about finding the space where you can truly grow. As the rain started again, I watched Mum continue pulling weeds and tidying branches. Her clothes were wet and her hands dirty, but she looked calm. She said, "These little tasks are not wasted. They are not only for the garden, they are for the heart." I realized that the rainy, grey days of autumn are not only days of sadness, they are also days to slow down, to prepare and think about life. The garden shows us that even when things look empty, something new is quietly waiting. So now, when I see Mum working outside on cold days, I don't just see gardening. I see a way of clearing my mind, letting go of what is not needed, and making space for what is to come. Maybe that is the real beauty of autumn. It teaches us that endings are not the end. They are the beginning of something else, something we cannot yet see, but will surely come when the time is right.